So apparently, Mexican authorities are deporting Americans who have colonized along the area of the beaches.
This is too funny to me. Can you imagine Mexico actually doing some big deportation of Americans? They are deporting Americans. Now, let me just say this. I saw a video a while back where this Mexican was saying that sometimes some of them be laughing at America.
Americans no longer welcome in Mexico. Why? My name is Lick. In today's video, we are going to talk about why more Americans are being deported from Mexico. Remember that credit goes to the owner of the video.
So this is what happens when you get caught in Mexico. How did they even find me in the first place? I was coming back from a concert in a bus stop at a toll booth. Some guy came in asking for ID. I showed him my California ID, but I didn't have my passport. Next thing I knew, I was in a van. I got to the immigration office. They patted me down, took away all my belongings. They looked me up and they saw that I overstayed my 180-day tourist visa. Long story short, they didn't let me leave the immigration office until I bought my ticket to go back to the USA, which is crazy because I already have my dual citizenship in process, but it's not complete yet. That could be why it didn't show up in the system. The closest flight I could get had multiple stops. Before I went to LA, I stopped at Monterrey. I thought it was gonna be a smooth process going back to the United States, but then this happened. I didn't get my little paper stamp that they give you when you enter the country, so I ended up missing my flight. And anyone that overstays their 180 days, you have to pay a fee of 717 pesos, which is $35. But since I'm being kicked out of the country, I didn't have to pay that Anyways, fee. They got me another multiple stop flight, so it took me 2 more flights before I got back to the United States. Yes, and once I saw the Edgar cuts and the LA outfit, I landed back to the motherland.
Mexicans deporting Americans is the funniest thing I've ever learned this year. So apparently, Mexican authorities are deporting Americans who have colonized along the area of the beaches. Of course, in the nicer area of Mexico. So if you don't have the proper documentation, they're going to deport you back to United States. And you know, the most ironic thing is that these racist American people go live in different countries, like in Mexico, to live this luxury, beautiful, cheap life. And now they're getting deported. Yeah, the ones that say, go back to your country, go back to Mexico, go back to Guatemala, go back to Venezuela, go back to Cuba. Yeah, those are the ones living the luxury, beautiful life. Well, guess what? You're getting deported back to the United States. These people have exhausted the Mexican resources to live that beautiful lifestyle that they have over there in Mexico, that they cannot afford here in America. The table just turned. Pack it up, wrap it up, and go.
It's funny how America, they are the one who say go back to your country. Say we are tired of Latino, we are tired of black people. And you sneak into others' country, like Mexico. You are going there, you get good job because, you know, most of Americans are going to Mexico to teach English. They make more money than local. And you forget your government in USA is kicking out Latino back to their country. Now it's your turn. Funny thing is that there are many of Americans who being deported nowadays are the one who doesn't have document. Of course, understand, because when you have document in Mexico, you stay. But can you imagine American, someone who well educated, go in the country and they overstay?
All right, you guys, the hypocrisy is real, okay? This is what I'm talking about. So here in America, we've been having immigration ICE riots for about a month and a half. If you take a look over the border to our brothers and sisters in Mexico, they are also having an immigration problem, and they are kicking out the gringos because the gringos are raising the cost of living for everyone. And I find that ironic. So here in America, immigrants come and undercut the Americans, so we don't get the jobs. But in Mexico, the Americans go over there and they make too much money and they make life difficult for the Mexican population because they can't afford the apartments. They can't afford the nice dining areas. So I'm saying all of that to say this. I need people from the Mexican community to help me understand the hypocrisy. How is it fair to kick out the gringos from Mexico, but when we do it over here, you guys are not happy with that, for lack of better words? So can we please Can someone please help me understand the hypocrisy with all of this? Not only that, if you guys are even semi up to date with immigration policies in Mexico and throughout Central America, they're worse than we are. They've been kicking people out left and right, and they've been doing it for longer than we are. So why is it that America is so ridiculed for wanting our country back? The last 4 years under the Biden administration has been insane. There's an estimated 20 million immigrants here, undocumented. We don't know who they are. We don't know what they were running from. Murder, rape, anything. We don't know what these people are running from. So I'm going to end that by saying this. Borders are not to block people. A border is to block the ideology that you may bring with you. This is America. Let's keep it that way.
When American get into your country, you know, the cost of living is totally increased because they pay in dollars. This is why people from Mexico complaining about them, because when they live nearby beaches, they pay a lot of money, they have a good apartment, you know, they make money from teaching English people, or the rich kid from Mexico who need their kid to speak good, well English, which obvious I can understand. But I don't need people to use border as something that can hurt people, or describe me, or discrimination about, you know, because I'm from USA, you are from Mexico. I was giving an example, I'm not from USA, of course. But the problem is that why some American came to Mexico and they decided to overstay as people who were educated. That's why some of you are being deported. The government, it doesn't deport anyone who has a document. They deport you guys because you overstay, most of you.
So a content creator just got deported from Mexico for overstaying her 180-day tourist visa. Now, I didn't even know you needed a tourist visa to go to Mexico for that long. So what was happening is she was returning from a concert and she got in a bus and they got stopped by a toll booth where I guess the Mexican cops started asking people for information. Since she didn't have her passport, her American passport, then they stopped her and they detained her. So they asked her for ID. She showed them her California ID, but she didn't have her passport. And the funny thing is, when she was leaving the bus, she still had to pay for her bus ticket. I thought that was kind of funny myself. But they took her to an immigration office where she was patted down. They took all her belongings. They looked up her information, realized, okay, she overstayed her 180-day tourist visa, which she was planning on living there. So that's a little iffy. But they didn't let her leave until she bought a plane ticket back to LA. So she did mention that her dual citizenship is on the way. So I guess since her parents were born in Mexico, she can get her Mexican citizenship. I have so many questions, but first of all, if you can get your dual citizenship, go to the Mexican consulate and you'll be able to get it the same day. Just make an appointment online ahead of time and it's super quick now. So if you can get it, go ahead and get it. And the second thing is, how come she didn't do that before she went to Mexico with the mind of living there? I think she learned her lesson. So second of all, I didn't know you needed a tourist visa to go to Mexico. And third of all, are they going to start doing that for all the Americans that live in Mexico that don't pay their taxes? I really hope they start checking everybody, because if they're going to start deporting us, it's only fair for the Mexican government to start deporting them. That's my humble opinion. What do you guys think about all this? I'm going to tag her below so you guys can go watch the video.
That woman she was talking about, she's claiming to be deported and she knows she was overstaying. And let me give you a really better advice. People who are content creators, you know, when you go into the country to create content, you're going to make money. You just apply for tourist visa, you go there and make money. You forget that you don't have working permit in that country and you're working from that country. So when you feel like, at least I have a tourist visa or something like that, you have to obey the rules and the regulation of the country. This is what happened to her. She was claiming being deported and she knows that she doesn't have working permit, which But when it's happening to American, they complain. But as African, we face a lot of problem like that. When you go to a country, you tell them I'm a content creator. Hey, it's a problem for you. They might even send you back to your country directly because they ask you don't have a working permit. Content creation is something make a lot of money, even more than those who work in offices. So, thank you guys for watching today's video. I hope you like it. Comment, share, tell your friend that to subscribe. See you on another one.